about something. Look, I was scrolling my YouTube homepage and I came across somebody who was basically saying that all you have to do to remove anything from your credit report, specifically collections, is dispute online. And I was like, oh my God, that is literally the worst advice that someone could possibly give a consumer who is attempting to fix their credit report. And I'm going to explain why. You see, they make it so simple. All you have to do is go to Credit Karma or Experian and say, hey, this account is unknown. This account is not mine. This is identity theft. This is this. This is that. You literally just click a button and you hit submit, and now boom, you submitted a dispute. I mean, how easy is that? Well, guess what, my friend? Anything that looks like it is convenient to you is really going to be a convenience to the credit bureaus, okay? Not only that, but you are giving up some very important rights under Section 623 of the FCRA and 611, all right? If you didn't know, now you're gonna know. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you stay to the end. I'm probably gonna make this as short as I possibly can because we have a lot to go over and I don't wanna waste any time. First things first, you wanna smash that like because hey, guess what? Everyone else wants to fill your head with false information and, false rhetoric, and I'm the bad guy that's going to tell you exactly how it is because there is no fast way, and this disputing online and giving up your rights, that is not the way that you want to do it. There is an easy and better and permanent way to remove negative items from your credit report, and I only have 1,200 videos that break the entire thing down. So if you want to check that out, again, 1,200 videos going back 9 years. Okay, so the videos are there, all right? Another thing is if you want to see if I can personally do a credit sweep for you, the link is right up there somewhere, but I think the top of my camera does not reach that high. It is my740.com. The link is all over the place, including the description, all right? So let's get to this. If you have ever disputed online, you probably didn't know, but you are agreeing to a couple of things, all right? It's not just that it's convenient, blah, 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 and it's convenient for the bureaus. No, you're agreeing to a couple of things. Most importantly, that when you dispute something and it comes back and it is verified, that you already agreed that you're okay with it. You're not going to do anything about it. You are also not going to sue them if there's a violation. So do you really, just because of some convenience of clicking a couple of buttons, right? Boop, 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 submit. Do you really want to give up your rights to take them into court for violating you, for, not being able to fight a reinsertion? So, you know how we were recently talking about the validation of debt, Section 611 reinsertions, all that kind of stuff? Well, hey, you can't use Section 611 to fight a reinsertion because you gave up your right to do so when you went and disputed online. And I'm pretty sure that with the very few rights that you already have, that you don't want to be giving them up, right? So if you went and you disputed, you probably didn't know these things because if consumers really knew about this, they wouldn't go and dispute these things online, right? Because you're allowed to go and dispute your collections, your charge-offs, your repos, foreclosures, inquiries, personal information, so on and so forth, right? They make it so simple. But number 4 down here says, hey, guess what? I think it's number 4. It's either 3 or 4. I can't read backwards. I don't know. It says, hey, you know what? Not only do you give up your rights, but it goes directly into their automation system. You know how we want to not fool the system, but we want to beat the system, and we don't want, all this automation. We want it to go to a real person and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's most definitely not happening when you dispute online because it's a huge mistake. Your disputes go directly into the tunnel of automation, okay? So it skips all of the letter opening and reading the OCR, blah, 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 reading your disputes, matching against letters, and goes directly into Yasker, goes right over to that data furnisher. Their computer, you've seen me do this before, but we are going to do it again. Let me find a clean one over here. Their computer says, hey, data furnisher, is this the information that you have? And their computer says, hey, credit bureau, that is most definitely the information that I have. Thank you. Have a great day. That is the end of the investigation. That's it. That's it. So not only are you back at square one, but you're further back because you gave up your rights under Section 623. You gave your rights up under Section 611, and you already said that you're not going to do anything when it comes back and it's not in your favor. You're not going to sue them when they violate you. When you dispute something, get it deleted, they catch up on their paperwork, and they put it back on your credit report, that you're not going to use Section 611 against them and that you're okay with that. I can literally go on for an hour about this, but disputing your credit report online is a huge mistake. And I would even go further than that, and I really don't want to use this word, but I'm going to. It is credit repair suicide. All right. If you want to legally and permanently remove negative items from your credit report, is there a way to do it? Yes, there's a way to do it. And it's not just going and suppressing these things. It is permanently removing them from the credit report, okay? So it really pisses me off when I'm like scrolling my homepage and I see these videos. This one was a female, okay? And like, oh, then if you want to remove your negative items, all you have to do is go and dispute it online. Here's the reasons that you're going to choose, and it's going to be permanent. Like, what? What? We've been talking about people giving you half truths, and that is like one of the biggest, right? We're talking about how with 4 different FCRA and FDCPA violations, these people do all these dances and blah, 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 and they say, hey, this law exists, you can remove these things from your credit report. But what they're not telling you is, hey, yeah, this law exists, but when you use it to dispute something and it doesn't work, and what are you going to do? What happens when that does not work? Because just because there's an existence of a law doesn't mean anything when the credit bureaus take these laws as guidelines and you have to actually do something to enforce it. So if you don't know the other half of this, you're going to get stuck saying, hey, wait a second, I disputed and you didn't respond. Don't these things just come off automatically? There was another comment on, I was responding to a ton of comments this morning. First thing I did when I got to work, right? Responding to all these comments on my, just a bunch of different videos, and I ran across 3 of basically the same comment by different people saying, okay, well, I have these violations on here, so when I bring it to their attention, it's just automatically going to disappear, right? Kind of like when they close an account, it just automatically disappears from the credit report. No. Just so you know, stays 7 years, okay? Doesn't just disappear because it's closed, all right? But where does this information come from? Who's telling you that just because you bring something to the attention of the credit bureaus that anything is going to be done for that matter? No. And I'm not berating you. Don't take any of this as me judging you. It's not like, I don't know, someone said like leverage or something. Leverage over you for what? I want for you to go and get that house. I want for you to get that mortgage. I want for you to get that loan. I want for you to move out of mom and dad's house. I want for you to get that vehicle and throw away your Flintstone vehicle, the kind where like when you come to a stop, you have to stick your foot down through the panel and like manually stop the car. Like, I've had those cars, right? I lived with mom and dad. Like, I lived in the projects. But you get what I'm saying here? Like, there's a process to everything. It's not just the existence of something means that you're going to XYZ. No, you have to fight tooth and nail to get these things off, which brings me to another point, and we're going to make a video about this as well, because this is just rampant. This lie is rampant right now, okay? First thing that you should be doing is disputing your personal information. It is not jumping to the CFPB. There is a time and a place for the CFPB, okay? Now, I can liken this to the criminal justice system, okay? If you go and you look up the administrative definition of exhaustion of remedies, it's basically telling you that you need to first do everything that you can with the original agencies or organizations prior to going to that next level, right? So, if you're just looking at the criminal justice system, that would be like, hey, you have to actually go through the court system and submit your, appeals and blah, 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 before you go to, that next step, right? Well, with consumer law, what we're talking about is you need to do everything that you possibly can with the bureaus, the creditors, and the collectors prior to going to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is the same reason why when you go directly to them and they just automatically send you a letter that says you did not provide enough information for us to really do anything. Now, when you have exhausted all your remedies and you have your paper trail and you have proof of violations and you have your credit report showing that the account was there and then it wasn't and then it was, but there had been no notice within 5 business days, which would otherwise stipulate a violation of Section 611, they're not going to take you serious and they're going to send you another rejection letter that basically says, we don't understand what you want. So, deuces, all right? You don't want to go through that. So instead of looking for all of these shortcuts and loopholes, what you want to be doing is looking for a repeatable, permanent process that is going to get you results, okay? Going to get you results. We're not trying to fool the system, which is the same reason why we don't send our letters by pouring, coffee or bubbly or Coke or whatever, on your letters and then crinkling the pages so that, the system can't read it, or like stapling. I don't have a stapler here, otherwise I would do it. My stapler is upstairs with all of my disputes. So you don't want to try to figure out how to fool the system. We want to send in disputes that are easily understood using like the Agero formula, for example, that I personally used to remove over 50,000 negative items in 4 years, okay? But we want to make it very, very, very consumer authentic and easy to understand what the actual dispute is so that we can go and get the job done, all right? We want the OCR to be able to read it and understand it so that we can get these negative items off. We're not trying to get it to go to a person who is then going to do the exact same thing as the computer, because they, what? Where, I just want to know, I have my comments and my chat turned off right now. I always do that on my lives, but who's giving you this information that this is the way that you're supposed to do it? And why is it that nobody can prove that this jumping the bureaus type thing, not even going to the bureaus to make one dispute, but going directly to the CFPB, actually works? There's nobody that can, because it does not work. People didn't even know that the CFPB really existed until COVID happened, and they were literally, not virtually, but literally untouchable until the president at that time, obviously Trump, was like, hey, you know what? I don't like that the CFPB is untouchable, and I need to get in on that, right? So then some changes were made, and people were like, oh, hey, the CFPB, blah blah blah, and the CFPB then got overwhelmed by a ton of frivolous disputes by consumers who were just trying to fool or beat the system. And they were like, hey, remember that whole exhaustion of remedies? Exhaust your remedies. You need to go and do that first before coming to us, because we don't want to deal with your shit, okay? So it started back then, all right? So if you want to permanently and legally remove your negative items, it is not going to be by disputing online and giving up your rights under 623 and 611, all right? And I'm sure, I'm giving you benefit of doubt, I'm sure that if you knew that you were giving up those rights, you wouldn't go online with, Credit Karma and whatnot and make your disputes, right? And if someone had maybe, made like 25 or more videos talking about it, and you had actually, landed on those videos, you probably would not have gone and done that. So yes, it is a huge mistake. So what do you do instead of disputing online? What do you do instead of going directly to the CFPB? Oh my God, I have been telling you and proving to you and giving you all the answers recently. I've been going live and making these videos and making these lives and making these playbooks and these cheat sheets and these, software programs and apps and all that kind of stuff that literally do the job for you and give you all the secrets. Because again, I've been doing this for 12 years. 9 of it has been here on YouTube, because remember, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. And I prove mine, right? So you already know that what I do works. And when I find a new process or a new strategy or whatever, I share it with you, because I want for you to succeed. I don't get a piece of your house. You don't invite me over or whatever when you get the house because you used exactly what I said. Or even with my clients, when they couldn't even get over 400 and now they've got $15,000 credit cards, I don't get a piece of that. So this literally does not benefit me. The only person who this can hurt or benefit is going to be you, but you're not going to get anything out of it unless you actually implement these things and these tips and these processes and strategies that I share with you and do something about it, okay? Now, obviously, if you don't want to do anything about it, then hey, there's an option for that. And I know, again, you can't see the link because I did lower my camera just a little bit before hitting that live button, but it's my740.com. All you do is go and schedule a call with me and I will see if I can personally do a credit sweep for you, all right? So what would my recommendation be to someone who maybe has disputed online or has gone to the CFPB when they weren't supposed to? Or to someone who still has negative items and doesn't know how to remove them from their credit report? Well, now we're going again back to what I just said about 2 minutes ago, that we have been talking about this and I have given you everything that you could possibly need, all right? After I hit the little X over here to end this, what I will do is I will go down into the description so you can, come back just a little bit later, and I will give you all of the links that you could possibly need to access, the answer to this problem, okay? So if you've disputed online, you never want to do that again. That is a huge red flag. If you see someone saying, hey, I'm so-and-so with ABC, credit sweepers or whatever, or, credit repair agency, blah, blah, blah. And my answer to helping you with your credit report is to tell you to dispute online. Your, alarms should be going off all over the place. We're not talking about yellow. We are talking about pink. That type of alarm, like a 5 alarm, okay? And you should be saying, hey, you know what? This person probably does not know what they were talking about, because otherwise they would not be telling me to give up my rights. Oh, wait, no, they didn't tell me about giving up my rights. They just told me to go and dispute this stuff online, all right? So when you hear about all these different things that are just, boom, you can get these things off, and oh, it's overnight, and blah, 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 and you got these dancing people giving you all this crap that just doesn't exist and they don't tell you all these other things, the other half to it, then you need to run in the different, the opposite direction, all right? How do you remove negative items from your credit report? You use the facts. How do you use the facts? You learn exactly how something should and should not report. How do you learn how something should and should not report? I already gave you the answers. If you want to remove collections and you want to utilize the validation of debt method correctly, you can go to sendme2.co/collections. Sendme2.co/collections. If, however, you want the playbook for credit sweeps, all of my secrets, and literally how to write the perfect dispute letter every single time by learning and understanding the structure, how to write the perfect dispute reason in addition to the perfect letter, and even things specifically like how to remove third-party collections, how to remove debt buyers, how to remove late payments, how to remove medical collections, how to remove charge-offs, so on and so forth, as well as some very common FCRA violations. And you're going to want to check out my credit sweep cheat sheet playbook, which is literally from start to finish, every card on this little digital access thing, from start to finish, it is nothing but gems that you can use to implement today to send your letters out and start getting results as soon as 30 days from now. Maybe even sooner. Who knows? I don't know. But that link is going to also be very, very simple. It is sendme2.co/get my cheat sheet. All right. And again, when I'm done, I will come back and I will put the links down in the description. I was actually just looking for a pen because I don't really feel like turning around and writing it really big on my board. But what do you do if, you've disputed a million times this way and, you have a very low likelihood that you're going to remove these things from your credit report, or anybody for that matter? Well, you should probably stop, take a break, learn how to do factual disputes, or it doesn't even have to be factual disputes. Learn the credit repair process. Learn who the credit bureaus are. Learn what happens when your letter gets to the credit bureau facility. Learn all the reasons why you shouldn't dispute online. Start learning and literally just consume this information, and then once you have a clear and focused strategy and plan and action plan to permanently remove your negative items, then that is when you can move forward and start writing your disputes. Okay, that is my recommendation, because if you just keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again, it's going to be exactly as Einstein said, that Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. And that's literally the epitome of basically all those big companies that they send out, the same letters for everybody, but they hope for different results for every single client. And that is just ridiculous, okay? So another note on that, if you're with a company who doesn't give you the copies of the disputes, you need to bounce like right now, okay? They are either not doing what they're supposed to, or they're using online disputes, or they're using a legal process, or they're using templates, or they're just not doing anything at all, and you are just a number to them, and it just says, hey, Bob is paying today. Oh, hey, Bob. That's the only time that they know you, right, is when you're about to pay, or when you don't pay. Another thing is, I obviously have so much information to share, but just on that note, if they are only disputing a couple of negative items per month, bounce. If they are only doing one bureau at a time, bounce, okay? If you are locked into a specific time period with them, deuces, all right? You need to be in a program that is consumer friendly. It is for you. They do all your negatives. They do all 3 bureaus. They're not disputing online. They're not using templates. They are not telling you that you can't, see what they're doing for you because it's some secret, like they work for the NSA, and if they tell you they have to swallow, crack their cyanide tooth, okay? Like, you need to know what this company or this person or whoever is doing with your personal information every single time that you send out a dispute, because we're only talking about your credit report, your financial identity. And don't forget that you get with the wrong person or company or whatever, and your credit can be ruined forever, okay? Because people who fix credit also know how to ruin credit, all right? Because obviously they know how these things work. So number 1, don't mess with someone that has your identity, all right? That's a huge one. And number 2, don't give your identity to the wrong person, all right? I have heard of it where people sign up for programs and all of a sudden, not only do they not have access to do what they need to do, but there's also things on there that they 100% didn't put on there, but they also have 200 points higher, so they don't really worry about it. Well, no, you got had, all right? All right, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope you have a great day. Again, my740.com if you want to see if I can personally do a credit sweep for you, because obviously there's no learning curve for me. I get the results. So if you want results, if you want to increase your credit score and remove your negative items, again, the link is my740.com. But otherwise, in a couple of minutes, come right back here and I will give you those links. sendme2.co/collections and sendme2.co/get my cheat sheet so that you can learn everything that you could possibly need to know in just 2 very simple links on removing virtually anything from your credit report. But all right, it's been 22 minutes and 49 seconds and I am done rambling. I hope you have a wonderful day. Smash that like, subscribe if you haven't done so, because I guess I'm the only bad guy out here that is telling you the things that you shouldn't do. And you know what? Hey, if it's gotta be me, it's gotta be me. I don't really care. You know what? What I care about is you coming back to me saying, hey, you were right. Now my score is XYZ higher, all right? Another thing is, very last thing before I hit this X right here, my app is coming out today, so you will see me later again today. And this is the app that I went live about the other day, about 2 days ago, 1 day ago, I don't know, for if you are doing a manual process for your clients and you are not using credit repair software, this is going to allow you to just have a very simple CRM for your clients so you know when they are due again and what you're disputing. All right, so that's it. All right, have a nice day. I will see you a little bit later. All right, bye.